Assalamu alaikum. This is your brother Malcolm Flex TV. We live with another one. We here to dispel all the lies and bring the truth. Let me know if you can hear me, family, in the chat rooms. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay, cool. So we live. We came to put this false claim and narrative to rest. We came to put it to rest, family. We came to say RIP to the false allegations against the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And what your brother has heard is that there is supposed to be a documentary coming out in regards to the domestic life of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in an attempt to slander the messenger. So your brother is doing this particular video just focusing on the wives and the children of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Okay? I'm not going into the assassination of Brother Malcolm in this video. And if you would like to go back and check out what I've done previously in regards to the assassination of Brother Malcolm X, you can go back to my YouTube channel and check out those videos that I have on his assassination. But this video, dear family, is focused on the wives and the children of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad dealing with birth dates, okay? Because you and I know that numbers don't lie, okay? Because Islam is mathematics and mathematics is Islam, and it can be proven at no limit of time, okay? Now, in 1960, first let me open in the name of Allah, who appeared to us in the person of Master Fard Muhammad. I also like to bear witness that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is his last and greatest messenger and exalted Christ. And I also like to bear witness that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is a divine warner, teacher, servant, and Messiah in our midst. And I would like to greet you all, the viewers, with the greeting words of peace and paradise of Assalamu alaikum. Here you are on Malcolm Flex TV. I'm here to always bring great content to the viewers, to those truth seekers who would like to know the truth. So I would ask that you press the like button, press that share button, and also press that subscribe button if this is your first time on Malcolm Flex TV. And also I am a part of Nation Town TV on our Facebook Lives with my co-host, Brother Landon X. Collins. So without further ado, I want us to get into the I want to revisit the Malcolm X allegations against the Honorable Elijah Muhammad using the wives of the messenger. Okay, so we're going to get into it, family, because there are people that are bent on destroying legacies of great black men. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was one of the forerunners whom the devil tried to slander his name by accusing him of sleeping and being with underage teenage girls. Okay, so all that you see that's happening to Brother Michael Jackson, Brother R. Kelly, Brother Bill Cosby, Brother Tupac Shakur, Brother Kobe Bryant, Brother Mike Tyson, you know what I'm saying, and many other black great men in our community that is being accused of pedophilia, that is being accused of adultery, that is being accused of all of these wicked allegations. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad was probably the forerunner in all of that. But I'm here to show you that it is unjust and it is false. Peace to you, Brother Danubian. Walaikum salam, sir. Okay, and I want us to get into the actual facts. Okay, so we're going to go and watch some of the interview by Brother Minister Malcolm X, and we're going to break down and decipher some of the claims that he made against the messenger and why everyone was upset with Brother Malcolm and what he did. Okay, so here we go. Yes, sir, Brother Danubian, he married them. And I'm going to show you, since everyone is saying that he was messing with underage girls, teenagers. I'm going to prove to you all that they were not teenagers. So I'm going to pull up this video and let me know if you can, hold on one second. Let me know if you can hear the video's audio. And we're gonna get into this. We're going to break this down. Also, I should have a show a little bit later on with Brother Landon on Nation Town TV, and we're going to try to stream that via Facebook/YouTube. So let's get into it. So this is Brother Malcolm X, okay? Let me know if you can hear the audio. Let me know if you can hear the audio. Share this video. Hold on one second. You all still can't hear the audio? Okay, hold on one second. We gonna get it fixed. Okay, hold on one second.
back in March. You said it was because the black Muslims were too narrowly sectarian and inhibited, and because Elijah Muhammad had become blindly jealous of you and the personal following you had gathered.
Can you all hear it?
I said the first part, but the last part, I didn't say that Elijah Muhammad himself had become blindly jealous. I mentioned that it was his family and the officials in Chicago. Everything that I said always was designed to protect Mr. Muhammad himself, primarily because the image that he had created was the image that enabled his followers to remain strong in faith and things of that sort, and I didn't want to see any adverse effect or negative result develop in the faith of all of his followers.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, despite the fact that I tried to protect the Muslim movement, if you'll notice, they used their newspaper to slander me and to label me as a hypocrite and as a rebel, and Mr. Muhammad himself said that I defected. Well, in reality, I never even left the Muslim movement. They put me out. And they put me out because of what I knew, and what I knew was told to me by Mr. Muhammad's son, Wallace Muhammad himself. They put me out and they put him out.
Well, now, first of all, let's find out what it is that Wallace Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad's son, told you.
Well, number one, if you notice, the stick that I always used in presenting, representing, and defending the Muslim movement was the fact that it had the ability to reform the morals of the so-called Negro community. It eliminated drug addiction, alcoholism, fornication, adultery, loose sexual behavior, which meant that it eliminated bastard babies, illegitimate children. Well, as long as I knew that this was what it represented and it gave me a strong stick, I could represent it and defend it. But we had a law which was that whenever any Muslim became involved in any kind of sexual relationship with someone to whom they weren't married, that person would be brought before the Muslim community, humiliated, and then isolated for from 1 to 5 years. This was our law. Well, in 1954, a teenage sister left Detroit and became one of Mr. Muhammad's personal secretaries. And there in the Chicago office, she became pregnant after being there for a year. And she was brought before the Muslim community and humiliated and isolated. And a year later, another secretary, this time one from Lansing, Michigan, came to Chicago. She also became pregnant. She was brought before the community and humiliated and isolated. And because the other person was never brought forth during this court session, it was concluded by all of Mr. Muhammad's followers that it was a non-Muslim who was the other party. Well, we grew...
Family, my audio is acting funny right now. So let me try to pull it up on YouTube. Let me try to pull it up on YouTube because my audio is acting a little funny right now. But I'm gonna pull it up on YouTube. All right, here we go. I'm gonna pull it up on YouTube because my audio is acting funny. I mean, my video. Okay, here we go. Here we go. That's Minister Malcolm. Let me know if you can hear me.
Came to Chicago. She also became pregnant. She was brought before the community and humiliated and isolated. And because the other person was never brought forth during this court session, it was concluded by all of Mr. Muhammad's followers that it was a non-Muslim who was the other party. Well, we grew so rapidly until that in 1957 or 58, the secretarial staff was expanded to, I think, 8 teenage sisters. In 1959, 6 of them disappeared. 2 of them reappeared in Philadelphia about 2 or 3 months later, and they were all right. The other 4 reappeared in 1960. All 4 of them had babies. All 4 of them had months later, and they were all right. The other 4 reappeared in 1960. All 4 of them had babies. All 4 of them had become involved with someone and become pregnant and had these.
Now, so now, family, the brother stated around 1959 there were 8 new secretaries. Okay, around 1959 there were 8 new secretaries. He said 6 of them disappeared. Okay, he said 6 of them disappeared, and then 2 of them were found in Philadelphia, and they both were doing okay. And he said the other 4 popped up, and they popped up pregnant. Okay, in 1960, he said 4 sisters that were teenage secretaries popped back up in 1960, and all 4 of them had babies. Okay, so now the biggest argument is that these were teenage girls. Okay, in 1960, these were 4 teenage girls that came up pregnant. Okay, so what we're going to do, since the brother made this claim that these were teenage girls, let's go and figure out who are these 4 women that this brother is talking about. So let me share my screen. Okay, now here is a list of all the wives outside of Sister Claire Muhammad. Let me show you what Sister Claire looked like. Mother Claire. That's Mother Claire on the screen. Okay, that's the first wife of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Sister was born November 11th, 1899. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. Mother Claire Muhammad was born November 11th, 1899. Okay? So now, let's go back to the list I just showed you. This is a list of the other 7 wives of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that I found. Your brother has been doing diligent research because it has been on my heart to do this necessary research, because people are making claims against the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad with no real facts. But here is a list of the names of the other wives and their children. And as you can see, these are the birth dates of the children right next to their names. So I had to go to task by finding all of these sisters, right? And find their birth dates and match the birth dates with the birth dates of the children, okay? So Brother Malcolm X, in his interview with Mike Wallace, in this interview was in 1964, okay? In 1964. Now, the brother mentioned two sisters from 1954 to 1955, but I didn't find anything with any sisters in 1954 and 1955, two other sisters. I didn't find those sisters then that supposedly had children with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But what I did find was there were sisters who had children with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in 1960. Okay, it's 4 children that Brother Malcolm mentioned, which was true. But the part that was untrue, the part that was false, was where he said that these were teenage girls. And I'm going to prove it. Okay, so first up in line, okay, we got Sister Lucille Kareem Muhammad. Okay, first up, she had 3 children. Here's the 4 women, the 4 sisters that had children by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in 1960. First, you had Sister Lucille Rosary Kareem Muhammad. And then you had Sister Evelyn Williams or Sister Evelyn Muhammad. As you can see, the birth of their first children. Sister Saudi Muhammad, born 1960. Sister Marie Muhammad, born 1960. Sister Ola Muhammad was another wife who gave birth to his child in 1960. And Sister June gave birth to another one of his children in 1960. So it's 4 children that were born in 1960. Okay, but this brother is saying that they were born in, these were teenage secretaries, underage girls. Okay, so let's go to the first sister, Lucille Muhammad. As you can see on the screen. Let me know if you can hear me. I don't want y'all to miss what it said. So please let me know before we continue on. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay, praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah. Let's get this back. Okay, now this is Mother Lucille Muhammad. This is her on the right side of the screen holding the little girl. Okay, that's her on the right side, the darker skinned sister. Okay, and on your left side is Sister Evelyn Muhammad. Okay, and both those sisters, Brother Malcolm X approached them. Okay, I'm going to play the audio, but Malcolm X approached them and he tried to convince them to go after the messenger in a paternity suit on who's the father. Okay, but it was already understood who the father was. Okay, because the whole case went away. But this is Sister Lucille to your right, the darker skinned sister. And as you can see, her birthday on the screen is November 30th, 1930. Okay, November 30th, 1930. And I showed you that she first had her first child in 1960. Sister Saudi Muhammad, 1960. So let's do the math. Let's go to the Google calculator. Okay, because Islam is mathematics and mathematics is Islam. Okay, so we're going to subtract 1960, because some of y'all, can't count. We're going to subtract 1960 from 1930, and we're going to see how old this sister was. Wow. Okay, sister was 30 years old in 1960. Okay, she was 30 years old. Come on, y'all, share this video. Hold on right quick. Y'all probably couldn't see that. My bad. Share screen. Okay, we're going to do that again. 1930 minus 1960. 1960 minus 1960 minus 1930, excuse me. Because some of us can't count again. Hope y'all can see it on my screen. She was 30 years old in 1960. Okay? That's on the board. Come on, share this video. All right? Now, we're going to go to the second sister. Hold on, before we go to the second sister, let me show you something. Go back to Sister Lucille. So, in 1960, she had her first child. Sister was 30 years old. Come on. I mean, that don't sound like a 30-year-old woman can be a teenage, underage girl. Come on, y'all. She was 30 in 1960, bro. She was born 1930. Where's the teenage girl at? Okay, so let's move right along. We gonna go to the second sister. Who's the second sister? Sister Evelyn Muhammad. Okay, we're gonna go to Sister Evelyn. Okay, family, here's a picture of Mother Evelyn on my screen. As you can see, you have her name and her birthday on the picture. Okay, Mother Evelyn Muhammad was born July 8th, 1934. She was another one of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's secretary. Since y'all don't believe the actual people that were there, we finna show y'all how numbers don't lie. Okay? We're gonna show y'all how numbers do not lie. Okay, she was born July 8th, 1934. So she had her first child when? 1960. 1960, okay? So let's do the math on that. Okay, we're going to do the math again. 1960 minus, hold on, did I share this? Let me share the screen. Okay, let's go back. 1960 minus 1934. How old was this sister? The sister was 26 years old in 1960 when she had her first child by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Okay, the sister was 26 years old. Can y'all see my screen? I hope y'all can see that. She was 26 years old when she first had her first child by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Don't look like a teenager to me. Don't look like an underage girl to me. Okay, let's move forward. Who's the second sister? Who's the third sister? Okay, Sister June Muhammad. Okay, she had Brother Abdullah Yasin Muhammad, December 30th, 1960. Okay, let's see how old Sister June was. Sister June's birthday is July 25th, 1938. Okay, and she had her first child, Brother Abdullah Yasin Muhammad, in 1960. Okay, well, let's do the math. Since people accuse the Honorable Elijah Muhammad of sleeping with underage teenage secretaries, we're going to do the basic mathematics. Your brother has done diligent research, going online, going on Ancestry and other 1960, the fourth sister who gave birth to a child minus 1938. Boom, Islam is mathematics. She was 22 years old. Sister June, Mother June was not a victim. Her first child was in 1960 and she was 22 years of age. She doesn't look like a victim to me. She don't look like a teenager to me. or any underage secretary? Somebody talk black to me. Somebody talk black to me. Okay? Come on. We gonna move on. Who's next? Let me share my screen again. Y'all need to see what's going on. Okay. Sister Ola. Did I do Sister Ola? Hold on, let's go back to Sister Ola. Let's go back to Sister Ola. Mother Ola, pardon me. Okay, Mother Ola Muhammad was born February 22nd, 1938. Same year as Mother June. Same year as Mother June. Okay? She gave birth to her first child when? When? Let's see. 1960. Okay? And she was born February 22nd, 1938. Well, don't need to do the math because she was born the same year as Mother June. So she was 22 years old too. Mother Ola Muhammad was also 22 years of age, when she gave birth to her first child, Brother Kamal Muhammad. Okay? So I'm not seeing, so Brother Malcolm said in the 60s, since 64. Brother Malcolm said in 64 that 4 young women popped up. Let's go back to what the brother said.
And because the other person was never brought forth during this court session, it was concluded by all of Mr. Muhammad's followers that it was a non-Muslim who was the other party. Well, we grew so rapidly until that in 1957 or 58, the secretarial staff was expanded to, I think, 8 teenage sisters. In 1959, 6 of them disappeared. 2 of them reappeared in Philadelphia about 2 or 3 months later, and they were all right. The other 4 reappeared in 1960. All 4 of them had babies. All 4 of them had become involved with someone and become...
So the brother just said in 1960, okay, the brother just said in 1960 there are 4 sisters that have been involved with somebody and gave birth to children. In 1960, it was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We already know who it is. Those are his wives. Okay? But let's continue on and listen to what else Malcolm got to say.
Pregnant and had these children. So it was, from what I now know, when the 4 of them got back to Chicago and began to compare notes, they found that the same man had told all of them the same story and had made all of them pregnant. That the same man was the father of all 4 of their children and had also been the father of the children brought forth by the 2 secretaries who preceded them. Mm-hmm. So this story was kept among these sisters until 1962. 2 of them rebelled against the person who was responsible and began to tell the story all over the city of Chicago. It caused many of the Muslims in the Chicago mosque to leave and go back out in the street. They knew it, and I knew nothing about it until 1963, when Mr. Muhammad's son, who had been in prison, came out, and he had been a minister. He was very religious and spiritual, and when he began to hear these rumors around Chicago, he went to one of the sisters, and the sister admitted to him that the rumor was true. And it was he who first told me about it. And when he told me about it, I wrote to Mr. Muhammad and told him about it, and he admitted that he had a knowledge of it, and that he'd given me a religious explanation that would fit into prophecy and all of that, so I was quiet. And it wasn't until October of 1963 that it came up again. And when it came up again, I realized that the same person who had made these other sisters pregnant was still busy doing the same thing. He hadn't stopped. Two of the sisters had two children by the same man, and one of those two sisters was pregnant still, getting ready to have a third child by the same man. So when it was known...
So the brother is describing... The brother is describing Sister Lucille and Sister June. Okay? He is describing Sister Lucille and Sister June. Okay? But these weren't victims of child molestation. These were grown women. In the 60s, these were grown women. Okay, I just showed you the ages. I just showed you the numbers. I'm going to show them again. These are grown women. Sister Lucille Muhammad, Mother Lucille Muhammad. She was 30 years old in 1960. Mother June. Mother June was 22 years old in 1960. Okay? These were not teenage secretaries. These were grown women. Them were the two women that brother was describing. But I'm gonna let the brother keep speaking because he don't really know what he's talking about.
Among the Chicago officials that I had announced...
Family, I'm not sure if you was able to hear me just now, but I was saying that the sisters that he was describing, pardon me, the sisters that he was just describing, he said two of them, I'll let him say it again and I'll go.
1963 that it came up again. And when it came up again, I realized that the same person who had made these other sisters pregnant was still busy doing the same thing. He hadn't stopped. Two of the sisters had two children by the same man. And one of those two sisters was pregnant still, getting ready to have a third child by the same man.
So the brother said that two of the sisters had two children by him, by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and one of them was getting ready to have a third one. The only two sisters that he's describing is Sister Lucille Muhammad, Mother Lucille Muhammad, and Mother June. These are the only ones before Mother Tanetta that had two children, and Sister Lucille was the one that he described that was about to have a third child. But when I show you the ages of our sisters, Mother June was 22 years of age in 1960, had her first child in 1960. She's grown. She's not a teenager. Mother Lucille was 30 years old in 1960. She was not a teenager. These were grown women. Yes, they were his secretaries, but these were grown women that can make their own decisions. These were not victims. See, and Satan, the devil, feels that if he can play this trick on us with the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and got some of us repeating the same lies, that he can do it on many of our great leaders and great people. You know what I'm saying? But the honorable Elijah Muhammad is the forerunner of all these false allegations. Well, nobody being accused of this stuff before the messenger. But let me kind of go back to this video and let this brother finish.
Man. So when it was known among the Chicago officials that I had a knowledge of this, they become very fearful of me. They became very antagonistic toward me, and they had to do something to diminish the authority that I had, for fear that if this became public knowledge, the followers would leave the Muslim movement and follow me. And it was at that time that they used the statement that I made against President Kennedy as a pretext to cut my authority, and some other things happened that finally produced the split. Came out, and he had been a minister. He was very religious and spiritual, and when he began to hear these rumors around Chicago, he went to one of the sisters, and the sister admitted to him that the rumor was true. And it was he who first told me about it. And when he told me about it, I wrote to Mr. Muhammad and told him about it, and he admitted that he had a knowledge of it, and that he had given me a religious explanation that would fit into prophecy and all of that. So I was quiet, and it wasn't until October of 1963 that it came up again. And when it came up again, I realized that the same person who had made these other sisters pregnant was still busy doing the same thing. He hadn't stopped. Two of the sisters had 2 children by the same man, and one of those 2 sisters was pregnant still, getting ready to have a 3rd child by the same man. So when it was known among the Chicago officials that I had a knowledge of this, they become very fearful of me. They became very antagonistic toward me, and they had to do something to diminish the authority that I had, for fear that if this became public knowledge, the followers would leave the Muslim movement and follow me. And it was at that time that they used the statement that I made against President Kennedy as a pretext to cut my authority, and some other things happened that finally produced the split, or forced the split. And when I made the split, the only reason that I didn't make this public knowledge was I knew the implications, and I felt that if the Muslims who were in the Nation of Islam knew it, that which enabled them to be so strongly religious and exercise moral discipline would be shattered, and it would cause all of them to go right back and start doing the things that they had been doing previously.
Who is the father of all of these various children whom you have enumerated?
The first one to tell me who the father was Wallace Muhammad, and he told me that the father was Elijah Muhammad himself. One of the sisters, he went to the home of one of the sisters, and when he walked in the door, she said, "I want to let you see something." And she showed him her child. She said, "Here's your brother, and your father is the father of this child." And then I questioned the sisters myself, because I was shook up. And they admitted to me that Elijah Muhammad was the father of their children. And I took it to him. And it was at that time he told me that he was Muhammad, the prophet, and that Muhammad had 9 wives. He also told me that he was David. He was the modern David, and that he was the modern Solomon, and that it was meant for him to fulfill today all of the things that they did back there.
And how many of these illegitimate children did he father with the sisters?
Well, he made 6 sisters pregnant. They all had children. 2 of those 6 had 2 children. Today, all of the things that they did back there.
And how many of these illegitimate children did he father with the sisters?
Well, he made 6 sisters pregnant. They all had children. 2 of those 6 had 2 children. One of those 2 is having a child right now. I am told that there is a 7th sister who is supposed to be in Mexico right now, and she's supposed to be having a child by him. 6 sisters pregnant. They all had children. 2 of those 6 had 2 children. One of those 2 is having a child right now. I am told that there is a 7th sister who is supposed to be in 6 sisters pregnant. They all had children. 2 of those 6 had 2 children. One of those 2 is having a child right now. I am told that there is a 7th sister who is supposed to be in Mexico right now, and she's supposed to be having a child by him.
Now, family, he said that there were 6 women that were having children for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And he said that there might even be a 7th sister. And he said that she's in Mexico right now that's getting ready to have a child by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Okay? So, now, the sister that he's describing that it was in Mexico is Mother Tynetta Muhammad. Okay? Now, this list is a list of the sisters' names, and it's 7 sisters. Sister Lucille, Sister Evelyn, Sister Ola, Sister June, Sister Tynetta, mothers. Mother Lavetta, Mother Bernice. Okay? These are all grown women. Okay, I'm going to show you. As I did my research, I was not able to find anything on Sister Lavetta or her daughter. Okay, I've searched and I've looked. But all of these sisters up here and sister down here, I was able to find. Okay, but Brother Ishmael was Mother Tynetta Muhammad's first child. The same year, Malcolm X made the accusation against the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in his interview with Mike Wallace was in 1964, the same year that Brother Ishmael was born. Okay? The same year. And that's the sister that is in Mexico, because that's where Mother Tynetta is from Mexico, speaks Spanish and everything, her and her children. Okay, but let's go and see how old Mother Tynetta was in 1934. In 1934, hold on real quick. Mother Tynetta was born May 10th, 1941. She was born May 10th, 1941. So let's see how old sister was in 1960. Okay, in 1964, excuse me. In 1964, with her first child, let's see how old Mother Tynetta was. I'm sorry. I got Sister Evelyn up here again. That was supposed to be Mother Tynetta. But let's go to the calculator then, because numbers don't lie. Sister was born in 1941. Let's go to the Google calculator. In 1964, minus 1941. Mother Tynetta Muhammad, pardon me, share my screen. (1964) minus 1941, Mother Tynetta Muhammad would have been 23 years old. The same year that Brother Malcolm X accused the messenger of sleeping with underage teenage girls, and the one that he described that was in Mexico, Mother Tynetta Muhammad, she was 23 years old. Okay, she was of the legal age of consent. Okay, the legal age of consent. Even if this list right here is 100% accurate, and Medea Muhammad came first in 1963, she would have been 22 years old. There's nothing wrong with that. Of course, there was considerably an age gap between the messenger and his other wives, but those are his wives, and they were of legal age of consent. Sister Bernice, I wasn't able to find any actual pictures on Mother Bernice, but besides that one on social media. And sister was born May 3rd, 1941, the same year that Mother Tynetta was born, just 7 days prior to Mother Tynetta. 7 days prior. How old was she when she had her first child? And she had her first child in 1965. Sister was 24 years of age. Sister was 24 years of age. See, numbers don't lie, and Islam is mathematics, and mathematics is Islam. See, and you have all these people who's pushing Kemetic science. You have these people that's pushing to go back to Africa, get closer back to Africa. But what's more African than polygyny? Because in Africa, they are practicing that. They are practicing polygyny. But the members in the Nation of Islam were commanded not to practice that. That was only ordained for the messenger, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. See, that was already ordained for him because Master Fard Muhammad gave him the command to go ahead and take on more wives. So how can you be upset with the messenger for practicing something that you say that you subscribe to? When they come with when they are upset that he took on more wives, then they go ahead and lie and accuse him of sleeping with teenage girls, with underage women. But here are the ages of these women with their first children. First, here's Mother Claire. That's Mother Claire Muhammad. She was born 1899. She was 2 years younger than the messenger, his first wife. Okay? His first wife. Mother Evelyn. She was the sister in the Malcolm X movie. And there's her daughter next to her. That's the little girl that was in the movie. She had her first child by the messenger in 1960. She was 26 years of age. Mother Evelyn. Here's Mother Ola. She had her first child, 1960. She was 22 years of age. I have birth dates and everything. Next, Mother June. She was 22 years of age in 1960. She was 22 years of age in 1960. Now, who those other sisters, Brother Malcolm, is talking about, we don't know. The other two sisters in the 1950s, we don't know, because he didn't give no names, no dates, nothing. But the ones that the messenger actually had children by came forth. The next sister, Mother Tynetta Muhammad. She was 23 years old when she had her first child by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. She was born in 1941. She had her first child by him in 1964. Okay, let's go. Mother Lucille. Mother Lucille had her first child in 1960 and she was 30 years of age. She was 30 years of age. How about Mother Bernice? She had her first child in 1965. She was 24 years of age. I mean, somebody talk black to me. I mean, you got people who are online reaching, but they not bringing no real receipts. Talking about doing documentaries, but not bringing no real actual facts to the table. You know what I'm saying? This is how the Nation of Islam, this is how we represent with truth. But you ain't got to take my words. I want y'all to hear from the sisters.
Sister Evelyn, would you just say a quick word? We only have 10 minutes on the satellite.
Assalamu alaikum. Brothers and sisters, I just want to say that all the years that I worked with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad before he asked me to be his wife, there was never any kind of out of turn words, no sexual harassment. He treated us with the highest form of dignity and respect. When he came to me and asked me to be his wife, he sat down, as our beloved Brother Minister Farrakhan said, and opened the Holy Quran to the place where it dealt with the wives. He loved his wife, Sister Clara Muhammad, and his children. But he said Allah was forcing him to do this for future generations. There's much I could say, but I want you to know that he was an honorable man. He is an honorable man, and he stood for the respect of all black women around the world.
This is his daughter from Sister Evelyn Muhammad, the one you saw in the movie that Evelyn was holding in her arm. This is the daughter. My son married this daughter and produced 6 children, 5 sons and 1 daughter. And these are the grandchildren of Elijah Muhammad and the grandchildren of Louis Farrakhan. They are brilliant, and I see in them the spark of their grandfather and their ages-old great-grandparents, that they will be lights among the people. Sister Ola Muhammad, would you step forward, please? And where's your son? Come. This is her son, Kamal. Kamal is one of the first. Are you the first? He's the first? First son. Oh, he's the first son of the second generation. And this son was on the mercantile. What is it?
Chicago Mercantile Exchange.
Chicago Mercantile Exchange. How old were you when you were on there?
24.
24 years old. You just now about 20?
32.
32.
Hold on, what?
32 years. Now look at his face. Look at the light in him. Look at his mother. These are not cheap people. This is what God is doing. My brother Hannibal, a freak.
We're going to do that again. We're gonna do that again.
Sister Evelyn, would you just say a quick word? We only have 10 minutes on the satellite.
Assalamu alaikum. Brothers and sisters, I just want to say that all the years that I worked with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad before he asked me to be his wife, there was never any kind of out-of-turn words, no sexual harassment. He treated us with the highest form of dignity and respect. When he came to me and asked me to be his wife, he sat down, as our beloved Brother Minister Farrakhan said, and opened the Holy Quran to the place where it dealt with the wives. He loved his wife, Sister Clara Muhammad, and his children. But he said Allah was forcing him to do this for future generations. There's much I could say, but I want you to know that he was an honorable man. He is an honorable man, and he stood for the respect of all black women around the world.
This is his daughter from Sister Evelyn Muhammad, the one you saw in the movie that Evelyn was holding in her arm. This is the daughter. My son married this daughter and produced 6 children, 5 sons and 1 daughter. And these are the grandchildren of Elijah Muhammad and the grandchildren of Louis Farrakhan. They are brilliant, and I see in them the spark of their grandfather and their ages-old great-grandparents, that they will be lights among the people. Sister Ola Muhammad, would you step forward, please? And where's your son? Come. This is her son, Kamal. Kamal is one of the first. Are you the first?
Sir.
He's the first?
First son.
Oh, he's the first son of the second generation. And this son was on the mercantile. What is it?
Chicago Mercantile Exchange.
Chicago Mercantile Exchange. How old were you when you were on there?
24.
24 years old. You just now about 20,
32.
32. 32 years. Now look at his face. Look at the light in him. Look at his mother. These are not cheap people. This is what God is doing. My brother Hannibal Afrique sits here. He's a student of African culture. You go to Africa, you see the chiefs. They got wives and they got children, and nobody's accusing the chief of being a cheap man in Africa, in Asia, and among all the societies of our people. Is that the truth, brother? Sister Ola, would you have a word?
Assalamu alaikum. I like to tell you that I agree and bear witness with Minister Farrakhan. I'm a south side of Chicago, raised and born. I work with you in the community. In daycare, I'm a registered nurse. I come and see many of you often. I bear witness that everything Elijah ever taught us about eating, cleaning, raising our children was true. I am a product of the Inter-School of Chicago, yet I can talk to scholars. I've raised my son as he instructed me to do, and I am quite pleased with the life that he has given to me over 40-something years. When I work on jobs and in the hospitals and communities with people, they think I'm 32. My son is 32. This is because of the great teaching that our messenger, my husband, brought to you, all of us. The wrong foods we eat raise the blood pressure, give you diabetes, high blood pressure. Once you get high blood pressure, you're definitely going to have kidney failure and an early death. Elijah Muhammad said, drop that swine. It's making you ugly and it's killing you. Now we have Minister Louis Farrakhan picking up the banner.
Yes. That's right.
Carrying on with this great teaching that we all need.
Yes.
Elijah gave him the keys.
Right.
Malcolm never had enough knowledge to hold the keys. He did not have it. And I'm sorry to say, as my husband said, he died lost and a hypocrite. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you. Sister Ola Muhammad and the National Secretary of the Nation, the son of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and his wife is my daughter. Here she is. The blood have joined. Farrakhan and Muhammad have become one. That's what he wanted. That's what he has. Now, do we look like some crazy, silly, sick? No. These are righteous people. And having wives, which I wouldn't advise nobody to do this. Don't you run into a Elijah had wives. I'm going to get me some. Don't you do that. Or you probably can't take care of the one you got. So you better first take care of the one you have. If you're faithful over little, Sister June Muhammad and her son, Abdullah Yassin Muhammad. Look at her. And look at her, Sister June.
Assalamu alaikum. In the most holy name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, all holy praises are due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. And in the name of our last and greatest messenger, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I greet you in the nation's greetings of paradise. Assalamu alaikum. Brothers and sisters, I know it's a pretty hard pill to swallow that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad took on wives. And we're so mundane in our understanding of life. We have to think on a spiritual plane. He came to me when I was very young in a vision. I only saw his form and never his face. But this vision lasted with me until I was a teenager. And then after I heard Islam, the vision became prominent. It began to move. His form became more vivid. And I was worried about this because I couldn't make out his face, just his form. So after I became a wife, I told him about this. And he just smiled. I said, you were that vision that was coming to me when I was very young. And he just smiled. He never confirmed it or denied it. And I just want you to say he was a decent man, upright man. He wasn't lustful or any of those things. You will never get a leader like the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. He's a leader to us all. We're lost without him. I am thankful that Minister Farrakhan gave me this opportunity to do this. I've been knowing Farrakhan for a long time. And we're just like old friends. And I'm really honored that he thought enough of me to invite me out, although I got the message about 1 or 2 days before I came here. And I always felt that I had to defend the messenger. Malcolm was talking to me near the time that he was running and worried about his life being taken. And he said to me that, I asked him, I said, why don't you just submit and tell the messenger that you're sorry. He says, sister, I'm going to be killed. And he says, there's nothing I can do about it. He said, never let a man tell you that he's not afraid to die. He says, I am afraid. And he said it was nothing he could do about it. He was very bitter. He wanted me to go against the messenger with him. He said, if I got you, the messenger would be very hurt. And he was trying to get me to go along with him by stating to me that my life was in danger as well as these other women's life were in danger, and that I should tape record my domestic affair and give it to him and he would keep it in safekeeping or give it to a lawyer. And I didn't fall for that. And I just want you to know he was very bitter and he just couldn't help himself. He had turned against the messenger and chosen another path. And the messenger is the messenger of Allah, and I don't know any immoral thing about that man or this man. He is the greatest, and there is no God but Allah, and the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is his last servant and apostle. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and the messenger is his messenger. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you. In Detroit from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Thank you. And this is her son, and at last but not least, Sister Tainetta Muhammad, whom you all know and heard from, and her sons from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. This is my assistant minister here in Chicago, and her son Rasul is a brilliant musician and is the minister of Mosque number 1 in Detroit, Michigan. And now Sister Tainetta Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, to whom all holy praise is due forever, for raising in our midst the greatest man that we have or will ever know, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I thank Allah, and I thank the Honorable Elijah Muhammad for raising up this brother, our beloved Minister Louis Farrakhan, for making this day happen. It was through the inspiration of Almighty God Allah that we are 28 years from the time of the assassination of Malcolm, and that Allah put it in the heart of our beloved minister to bring us together in the public to witness to all of you that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the most noble and virtuous and moral man that you will ever know if you live to be 1,000 or 2,000 years old. Finally, when one of the Prophet's wives was asked about the character of Muhammad, she pointed to this book, the Holy Quran, and she said that Muhammad's character and his morals in essence is the Holy Quran. So I want all of you to ponder over the days to come, the years to come, and make up your mind from this day forward that if we are to be guided into a peaceful and happy world, that we must come together as family and begin to discuss openly our beliefs, our differences, no matter what it may be. But we must know from this day on that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the messenger of Allah, is a savior for you and I, and he is the exalted Christ. Thank you very much.
Pardon me, family. My bad. Audio problems. But there you have it, from the mouth of the wise of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. We went through the mathematics, and I showed you all the ages that these sisters were, that these mothers were when they had their first child. I showed you the birthdays. I'm showing you the birthdays and the dates and the ages that they were when they first had children by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Okay, are any of these in harmony or in congruence with what Brother Minister Malcolm X said about his leader and his teacher? Are these birth dates and ages in harmony with Brother Malcolm X's accusations against the most honorable Elijah Muhammad? Family, these are the birthdays. And these are the ages of these mothers when they gave children to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So, for future reference, if anybody is coming with them weak arguments, if anybody coming with these so-called documentaries, family, refer them to this video. Share this video to them. Copy down the birth dates and the ages of these sisters. Hurl truth at falsehood. Because it's people that don't want to believe this to be true. It's people that want us to be wrong. It's people that is bent on misunderstanding us and our position to overthrow what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has put in place, but they have nothing to replace the Nation of Islam. I repeat, they have nothing to replace the Nation of Islam. So, family, I didn't intend to make this a long video, but I wanted to show people through actual numbers and actual facts. I'm not sure. My audio seems pretty good, family. My audio seems pretty good over here. I'm not sure what's going on. My audio seems pretty good. Okay, cool. Yes. So we gotta bring actual receipts, and if anybody coming with that weak stuff, please refer them to this message. Please save this message in your playlist. Please share this message. Because numbers don't lie. People can say anything. Men lie, women lie, but numbers don't lie. You know, I think Dr. Ali Muhammad, in his video, he did a wonderful job, and several times I had to go back and revisit his video, but he didn't give any other birth dates besides, I believe, Mother Tynetta. So, you know, I took it upon myself and did diligent research in defining when these sisters were born and when their children were born. Okay, and to clean the rest of that up. So, I mean, there you have it, family. From the sisters themselves, from their actual birth dates and the day and the birth dates of their children, and everything lines up right. And all these sisters were women. They were at legal ages. They were above 18. As a matter of fact, there were no sister that had a child by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was younger than the age of 20. When they had children by him. None of them were younger than the age of 20. Even when in the 1960s in Illinois, the age of consent was 16, and it just recently went up to 17 in 2007. And he's still years ahead of that. So there is no questioning this situation. We're dealing with actual facts. But the problem with that, I'm not sure if your name is Jose, the Truth. The problem with that is he never gave any names. So who are these sisters that he is referring to? Because the sisters that he mentioned in 1940, when you go back, not 1940, 1960, the sisters that he said had just popped up in 1960, there were 4 sisters. Let me share my screen again, just in case if you missed it. There were 4 sisters that had children by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, in 1960, just in case if you missed it. Sister Lucille, Sister Evelyn, Sister Ola, and Sister June. Sister Lucille, Sister Evelyn, Sister Ola, Sister June. Okay? We go to Sister Lucille. Mother Lucille. She was 30 years of age in 1960. Go to Sister Evelyn. She was 26 years old in 1960. Go to Mother Ola. She was 22 years old in 1960. Mother June. She was 22 years old in 1960. So if anybody can come forth with the information of who these mystery women are, then we will be glad to hear you out. But we have a list of who these women were. Even Malcolm said it was 7 women. But who are these other sisters that he's describing outside of this 7 that he had already said in the video that I played? He described there were 7 women. So who are these other women? Here's a list of names right here and the children that they had. So I'm bringing receipts. We dealing with nothing but actual facts. Bring the receipts. Please bring the receipts. Because I did my research. Yes, sir. Ward-Din Muhammad was an agent. Yes, he went to the feds because he didn't want to go to the war. And he was approached then. And when you go and look at the FBI files, their whole purpose was to denuclearize and discredit the Nation of Islam. And they wanted the Nation of Islam to leave that nationalistic program into a more universal program, you know what I'm saying, that would be accepting of white people and all other kind of people. And that's exactly what Ward-Din Muhammad did. As soon 3 to 4 months after the messenger made his departure, Ward-Din Muhammad had white people all up in the mosque. He took the messengers and Master Fard Muhammad's pictures off the wall. He took the standard, which is our star and crescent flag, the red flag, down, and he raised up another flag. Okay? And he did exactly what the FBI wanted in the FBI documents. He told the messenger that he didn't believe that Master Fard Muhammad was Allah in the person. And then the brother, after he told Malcolm what he did, after he told Malcolm of what the messenger did, he did that to intentionally divide those brothers. Wasn't that not in the FBI documents? The FBI documents stated that they wanted to divide Malcolm and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, separate them, and cause confusion. Ward-Din Muhammad did that. And he admitted to doing that. And then, after Malcolm was assassinated, he came out with an apology, and he apologized to the believers, to the members of the Nation of Islam, and admitted what he had did. But he wasn't sincere in his apology, because after the messenger made his departure in 1975, he tore the Nation of Islam up. The messenger had an $80 million empire, and he completely destroyed all of that. And then took his own brothers and sisters to court because they were battling for, I believe, $5.7 million in a major bank, and he was trying to get that money for himself and his other brother Herbert and leave the rest of the brothers and sisters out to dry, leaving them starving, hungry, with nothing. So to answer your question, beloved, yes, he was an agent. He was definitely working with the enemy. All praises due to Allah. Hairstyles by owner. Brother Dr. Wesley Muhammad just did a video via Facebook Live about Michael Jackson and the Illuminati. And I recommend y'all go and check that out. That was definitely fire by that brother, you know, and inshallah we'll be able to do something else in the future. But I wanted to do this video to kill all the falsehood. R.I.P. to the false allegations of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad sleeping with underage teenage girls. We can put an R.I.P. on that. Yes, sir. I mean, we hold Brother Minister Malcolm X dear to us as well. We love the brother as well, but we know that the brother had flaws as well. The brother was not perfect. You know, there are many things that some of us don't know about Brother Malcolm. You know, he accused the nation of trying to bomb his house, but that wasn't even his house. He didn't even own that house. He had lost a judgment in court, and the judge took the house from him and gave it back to the Nation of Islam because that house belonged to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That house is what you call a parsonage. Okay, you live in this house, and the believers help you take care of this, keep this house. But it's not in your name. It's in the name of the Nation of Islam. So the Nation of Islam is not going to go and bomb their own property and what belongs to them. They don't even make any sense. I'm pretty sure, beloved, that Dr. Wesley Muhammad will put it on his YouTube page. Just look out for that. So tomorrow we will be having Nation Town TV, and I would love for you all to tune in and check that out with my co-host, Brother Landon X, out of Los Angeles. And I hope you all appreciated this information that I'm bringing forth, because again, there are too many liars out here repeating the lies that was created by the enemy. And we will continue to hurl truth and falsehood to all my viewers. Thank you. I appreciate you. If this is your first time to Malcolm Flex TV, please press that subscribe button. Press that like button and that share button. We want to get this information out. You know, because I wanted people to know the truth and the whole truth and bring real receipts. Because I spent days doing this research, putting this research together, because nobody is going to do the real research that needs to be done. And right now I feel confident that we can destroy any lie on the Malcolm X topic, whether if it be the assassination or it be the so-called false claims of infidelity by the messenger. We can defend it. As long as we have faith in Allah and belief in Allah and not deviate from the messenger, from the minister, and our foundation that was given to us, then we will continuously be successful. So with that being said, family, I appreciate you all, love you all again. I hope you appreciate this message, and have a wonderful day. And I might be going live again today, later on today, so we'll see. So just be looking out for that, and peace and assalamu alaikum.